You in this battle, man, I'll soon be dead. I'll glue your face to my dick so I can fuck with your head. I got metaphors coming through my pores. You probably never been in a battle before, so I hope you realize your mistake. There ain't no party, got some candles, this will be a piece of cake.
Folks, welcome to the Before Hours podcast, an internet radio phenomenon hosted by an occasional morning person. I ask the most interesting people I know about their sleep, their routine, life, love, stress, and setbacks. You can follow me on Instagram at Bobby Sheehan LOL. Always be willing and able to slide into my DMs, or you can email us at the Before Hours podcast at gmail.com. Tell us about your morning routine or who you would like to see as a guest. But for now, we have comedian and good friend, Danit Sibs. How are you, Danit?
Good. I'm trying to think how I slept last night. I pass out usually, but then I wake up early sometimes.
Okay, so you pass out.
Yeah, I fall asleep.
Okay,
Hard.
you fall asleep hard.
Yeah.
Walk us through that journey.
Well, I take edibles before bed.
Are you a every night edibles person?
Yeah, so I fall asleep hard. It's the waking up early. That's where I get bad sleep.
Ooh.
But I can always fall asleep.
As long as you have weed. As long as I'm not sober, I have no trouble falling asleep.
Totally.
So you have, and we'll do plugs at the end, of course,
Okay.
but I think this segues quite nicely. You have a show called Hot Box.
Yes.
And the premise of the show, what is it?
The premise of the Hot Box is, I get other comedians high and then I interview them late night talk show style. So it's like alternative comedy. Like I always have to tell everyone, like, you're not doing your set. It's not a set. It's a late night talk show. Like I'm interviewing you, we're vibing, we're hanging out. And then the ideal situation is that like everybody can stay the whole show. And every time somebody comes up, the next person moves down. So at the end, you have a whole lineup of comics sitting right there making you laugh together. Like the last one was so funny. It was really funny.
So it's interesting to me because you have what I think is the perfect counter to this podcast, because this is the Before Hours podcast and the guest doesn't have to be sober, but I'm always sober.
Right.
Actually can't do Hot Box because I'm a sober Sam, as the listeners know. Yeah, dude, you're actually not the first show, because I've been invited to two other weed shows, and like a nerd, I have to be like, is there proper ventilation in the room, or am I gonna get intoxicated off of marijuana? And they're like, actually, why don't you just not come?
Like contact high is real. Like I didn't know it was real until recently. Last year for 420, the International Day of Cannabis.
Also when Columbine happened.
Oh no. That's really sad.
There's actually a bunch of bad things that happen on April 20th, but the weed thing is good.
Yeah. So there were a lot of concerts last year because it was like maybe the second 420 that was like legal in New York. So I went to a bunch of concerts at Terminal 5. Do you know Terminal 5? Have you ever been there?
Is it like a pier on Manhattan?
No.
Okay.
It's in Hell's Kitchen. It's like a huge warehouse type of venue. Like tons of people play there. Like, I don't know if do you know who Robin is with a Y? She's a 90s pop star.
Ooh.
She's played there.
Okay.
Do you know who she is?
I don't.
Oh, okay. Well,
and 90s is like my thing. Well,
90s is my
late
jam.
90s, early. Well, the listeners know the Slim Shady LP came out in 99. So that's kind of where I wake up in terms of pop culture. But Robin, I've never heard of her.
Okay. She might be before 99.
It's just the first name, like Cher or Madonna?
Yep. She's very famous in Europe. So like she's played there. Anyway, so there were a bunch of concerts, Method Man and Redman and Jadakiss. Yeah, Jadakiss. I forgot.
Hell
Jadakiss.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, Jadakiss is okay, I'm gonna say something that's not right. But I feel like he's available for all of these things. And why is he always available? Because he's not putting out new music.
He isn't. No, he's one of those. He's on the Mount Rushmore of hip hop, but
is he?
I think so. I
Okay.
think he can't write a catchy hook. He's like one of those rappers that's like really great, but can't make a catchy hook, and you have to make a catchy hook.
Yeah, totally. Anyway, the whole point of that was contact high. because it was going up through their multi levels to this venue,
Yeah.
and then it was like going up through the middle, and like we were just literally breathing in smoke for the whole time. Like I didn't even have to like smoke more. So it's real. So I'm with you. If you want to stay sober, you can't be hotboxing.
Are you a marijuana as opposed to alcohol person, if that question makes sense?
Yes, kind of. I still drink. I like I sound like an addict.
Yeah.
I like a crossfade.
A crossfade.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is gonna make me sound like a nerd. I have no idea what a crossfade is.
Well, I don't think I came up with it, but I think I'm using it more than other people. It's basically like you get really high and then you have a couple drinks.
Okay.
And so like you feel like it like enhances everything. So like you get fucked up, but like you're never like I drank way too much back in the day, like in college, high school even.
Yeah.
Disgusting. Like you're never going to black out like by getting super high and having a couple drinks. So like that, I'm fine with that. And then like, yeah, that's all I really do, the crossfade. But the other thing that cannabis helped me, which this is I actually think even more important, people don't realize, like after my surgery and being on like serious painkillers, I was on Dilaudid for like months. You know what Dilaudid is? It's morphine in a pill. Okay.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
I mean, I had major spine surgery. So, but cannabis for sure helped me not get off pain pills because it's not a painkiller, and I don't want people to think that because it's not going to take the edge off that kind of level pain. You need a painkiller, and doctors need to know that. But in terms of feeling like you still want to like escape or like forget about things, like you just want something to do, like cannabis really helped that. And it wasn't doing a painkiller. Like it was like, okay, I want to smoke, I want to relax. I think that people get addicted for so many reasons, but one of them might be that like they form a habit of doing it.
Yeah.
And it makes them feel relaxed. So they want to keep doing it. So smoke weed instead.
Yeah.
So like I'm opposed to like it helps you get away from alcohol and it helps you get away from pills.
Yeah, 100%. I remember I had it wasn't major spinal surgery. I had my wisdom teeth taken out. So we're one and the same, you and I, Danit.
Yeah, that hurts.
But I remember I was still drinking, and I remember they gave me I believe Percocet.
Oh,
and I never had Percocet before. And I remember I lived at home. And I remember being annoyed because I was living at home. My mom was like, "You're not supposed to drink when you're taking Percocets, and I'm going to make sure you don't drink."
Okay.
And I was like, "Oh, fuck!" But I love drinking. I was drinking because I'm a recovering alcoholic, so I used to drink all the time. And just in my parents' basement at 24, crushing a 12 rack, very cool time in my life. But I remember being annoyed that I couldn't drink because I was taking these Percocets for my teeth. And I took the first Percocet and I was like, dude, I could never drink again. This rules. Just, by the way, just on my couch, eating junk food, watching Roseanne pre-cancellation.
Roseanne pre-cancellation.
I would, even on Percocets, I wouldn't do post-cancellation. But I was, I'm like, this could be my life, And that sort of scared me a little bit.
Yeah.
So I wish an alternative like an edible would, but I quit everything at the worst time to eat because I quit alcohol, and then a few years later, there's like these low carb options, like the hard seltzers and all that stuff.
Yeah, White Claw.
Yeah, White Claw. Thank you.
I love that shit.
And I used to smoke weed a lot too. And then I quit that too. I quit weed and drinking at the same time. And then same thing. I quit weed. And then like a few years later, it's like, hey, you don't even have to smoke this anymore. You could like eat something. Because that was the worst. I like the effects of marijuana, but I hate smoke.
Okay.
I hate it. And I always felt like congested and gross. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I'm really attractive when I'm hacking up a lung. and I'm a cougher. Like, it doesn't matter that I'm a pothead. Like, I cough every single day. So it's not like I'm gonna never not cough.
Right.
So I'm like, this is what I look like.
Yeah.
When I cough.
This is me just looking at the camera, cough real quick.
Just coughing.
So, okay. So your nighttime routine is to take an edible or smoke. Do you have a preference?
Edible.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anybody that prefers smoking?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people. Because they want to like smoke all day. Or they just want to feel like relaxed. Because smoking, you can like control the dosage more. And then like a lot of like, honestly, like my guy friends that grew up in the 90s, the aughts, whatever it's called, like they want to roll. They like the action of like breaking up the weed, grinding it up, rolling. I'm the worst roller ever.
Dude, I never got good at it. And okay, so when I
like
was at,
cones. It's very easy.
what is that?
It's pre-made and it's just a
right.
cone and you fill it up with weed. It's so easy. And then you just twist the...
Dude, when someone can roll in a way that it looks like a joint or a blunt from a movie, you know what I mean? I'm like, that's a professional. That's a gift.
Yeah, there are people that can do that.
I remember one time I was a teenager and I was hanging out with older kids, cool older kids.
Yeah.
Although I don't know how cool they were because they were hanging out with me at 15. But they were like, "Oh, Bobby's gonna roll this one," and I was like, "Okay, don't fuck." And I did like the worst possible, and I'm like, I can't be cool in front of these older kids now.
No, well, it's okay. I should be a good roller and I'm not. When did you become sober? How long ago?
Oh, so I'm 33. I stopped at 25.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
A long time.
But I didn't smoke weed I smoked weed as a teenager, but then as soon as I had access to alcohol, I'm like, this is the better one.
Okay.
Yeah, because weed is like, okay, it can help you relax, but sometimes it could also make you paranoid.
Yeah.
For me, it would make me, and I'm not like a socially anxious person, but like pot could sometimes make me socially anxious. It's like the opposite of what you want, right?
Totally.
But like alcohol, I'm like, I don't know. There's something, I remember finding this out like years after I quit, that because alcohol is a depressant, so it slows your heart rate down as opposed to like a stimulant that speeds up your heart rate.
Right.
But if alcohol acts as a stimulant for you, like if you drink alcohol and you're like, I'm ready to go, that's probably not good. That might mean you're an alcoholic. In my experience, that's what it was. Yeah. Because I wouldn't get sleepy. I would drink like 12 beers. I'm like, where's the party? Where are we going? What's going on? You know what I mean?
Got it. Yeah, I could see that. Okay, that's means you like it. So can I ask, I don't know if your listeners and viewers have heard this before, but like what was the moment that made you become sober?
So there wasn't like one moment. I think I knew for a while that the best case scenario was I was wasting a lot of time and money and energy. And the worst case scenario is I was going to get myself killed or in trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I would, I think the last few years, every time I drank, I would black out.
Oh shit. Yeah.
And like 99% of the time it's fine. But 1% of the time, like I'd wake, I have a scar on my chin. And I have no idea how it got there.
You want to hear a fucked up story like that? College?
I'm ready.
I woke up in my own vomit.
Ooh.
And then I really was like, shit, I could have died.
Dude.
Choked on that. I fucking woke up in my own vomit.
Yeah, and you're
blacked
like,
out drunk.
Yeah, good thing I slept on my side or I sleep on my face, weirdly enough, which is bad for your face and your back and your neck, but I can't stop. But I wouldn't be able to choke on my vomit at least.
Right. I guess I'm a side sleeper, so I was okay. But like, I mean, I get the blacking out. Like college more than anything, because I was like a little bit better after that. And I'll say that like, okay, this sounds like I'm still like I'm fucked up, but it's like, if you eat enough weed, if you take a big edible and stuff, you get like blurry, if that makes sense. But you never forget anything. It's just like you feel so like it's almost like blurry that you feel like so high, like almost drunk, but it's not drunk.
Yeah.
And you will never puke. You will never do something stupid except laugh too much. You're never gonna like not remember anything. There's no blacking out. Like, so that's like, I just had a switch. I need that feeling, I guess, still kind of.
Yeah.
Which is like not putting me a good impression of me. But cannabis is safe and it's medicine. I mean, I'm not the right person for the medicine conversation because I talk about
Danit
the
and
high
I
all the
are
time.
both doctors. Please listen to this as medical advice, folks. That's going to get us flagged on Spotify, I think.
Oh yeah.
Not this podcast, but a podcast I used to do with my friends. We mentioned COVID in passing and we got an asterisk. This was like 2020 though. Where it was like, they talk about COVID in this episode. They are not doctors. If you want information about COVID-19.
Yeah. I don't think that they care about how cannabis works as medicine. They don't care about our expertise on that.
So you started, well, you didn't start using cannabis, but you were in this, well, why did you have to get this spine surgery?
I was in a car accident. Yeah, I like to start my set out with my car accident. Yeah. Brendan Sagalow makes fun of me. He's just like, you start out with like the saddest fucking thing ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I was in a really bad car accident, March 10th, 2022. And then I was like, honestly tortured by the medical community. They like were not understanding what was happening. And they were ignoring the accident. It was a rollover car accident. I was hanging upside down.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. So like they totally ignored the accident. They were just like, we don't think your herniated discs are that bad. And I was like, I can't walk.
Yeah.
And then I had like a lot of epidurals. Like summer 2022, I was 3 epidurals in and maybe even a steroid pack in. And then I would wear this, it looked like headphones around my neck, but it was a TENS unit. You know a TENS unit for physical therapy? Oh, it's the electronic stim. Like you ever had physical therapy? You ever had? Oh, wow. Lucky you. So in PT, like they do all these things. And then like one of them is like, they ice you or heat you, and they usually do it with electronic stim at the same time because it like something with the nerves. It's like pulses. It's electric pulses. And the reason that I wore it around my neck was because when it's pulsing, it cancels out the pain because it's shocking you. So it would feel good. Like my pain would be gone as long as I was getting pulsed, as long as I was getting zapped by electricity or something, or however it works, I was feeling okay. So I would charge this thing up and then go out with it and just like be like this person that people think just can't take off my headphones. And then in August 2022, see, I know all my dates. This is why I'm gonna do great at my deposition.
He's a lawyer. That's what that means.
I'm like on August 8th, 2022. I had.
We have the stenographer in the back, by the way.
Thank
so if we need anything
you.
read back, we'll do
I
that.
had these things called facet joint injections, and they're like, because you can't have more than 3 epidurals in 6 months because it's too much cortisone. It eats away at your bones. This one doctor wanted to give me a 4th one, and I literally cursed him out. I went psychotic because I was like, you're going to kill me. Like now I know how people get permanently disabled. You people are going to kill me and nobody's fixing me. You're just like injecting me and putting steroids in my body. I have Hashimoto's now, which is a thyroid thing. It's autoimmune, which comes out. Like a lot of women get them after pregnancy because your hormones change and you have stress. I got it after a car accident and spine surgery because of my hormones and stress, because they put so much cortisone, which is a steroid, in my body. Anyway, so then I got these facet injections that are like more surface, so you're allowed to get them, but something happened. I don't know what happened, but it set me on a path down. Like I ended up crawling on the floor that night. I couldn't get myself up. And then I went on disability from work and started having surgical consultations. Yeah, and then I had spine surgery on October 20th, 2022.
Okay, let the record show October 20th.
I know. My attorney would be like, you're an attorney. You know, you should shut the fuck up. But like, this is like the same facts. It doesn't matter. Like, this isn't going to change.
So this time period between the accident and when you had surgery, are you spending this whole time like trying to convince your doctors, like, I need surgery?
I'm convincing them that something is very wrong and that whatever is happening, like I'm trying to explain to them like my level of pain. Also, like, because we're talking about this, like the opioid crisis is real. Sorry it was the Sacklers, my people. But like, yes, it's real and it's terrible. But like, the answer is not to give nothing then to anybody, especially the kind of pain I was in. Like, I was like, my mom was giving me her painkillers because they would give her, because she had arthritis and she's elderly. They don't give a shit. They'll give it to an old lady, but they won't give it to somebody else. So like, I'm convincing them that I'm in so much pain and they're talking to me about therapy. I was like, I'm in therapy.
Like mental health
yes.
therapy.
I go, but that's not why I can't walk.
Psychosomatic. Oh.
By the way, my mental health was affected. I mean, on March 10th was the accident. I had my first ever appointment with a psychiatrist on March 16th, 2022. Like, I had never even been to a psychiatrist. I'm very heavily medicated. And actually on the way here when I was this is gonna sound so fucked up. On the way here when I was crying on the subway, specifically the A train, I thought, I thought that upping my meds was working and maybe it's not. Am I slipping into another depressive episode before I even really got out of the last one? That's me.
Well, you're a professional because you made it here.
I made it here.
You're not crying now.
I'm not crying.
Probably because I'm so skilled as an interviewer.
You're the best.
Yeah.
And you're ginge.
Yeah.
Ginge.
We have that in common.
Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, before we started, I showed you how red my hands were from being outside in the cold.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty gross. You're not as pale as I am, though. I'm particularly pale.
You don't have freckles, really.
I have them on my arms.
Okay. So that's the difference, because I have a freckle face, not now with this makeup and stuff in the winter, but like in the summer, I think freckles give an illusion of darker skin, because like they are darker than the rest of my face. So when I get a lot of them, I look tan. It's nice.
Dude, I'm jealous. I never look tan.
Yeah.
I'm either pale or, if I don't put on sunscreen, pink.
Yes.
I get a little bit of pink.
Yes.
A pink little boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I put on sunscreen 365 days a year.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
I'm wearing it right now. No.
Well, you're gonna be wrinkle free forever.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I never thought about, because we're both comedians.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people in our community are like, shall I say, obsessed with looking young, staying young. And I never felt that way until very recently, because I've been getting comments about how young I look all the time.
Okay.
Which as a young man it's actually not good. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well,
you do
20,
look like
yeah.
you could be in your 20s.
Yes, which is great now. But when I was in my 20s and I looked like I was in my teens and I was trying to get a woman to sleep with me, very difficult.
Very hard. Yeah.
I'm like, hi, would you like to see my ID? I am actually 21 years old. And she's like, I'm still not interested.
Well, can we go back a second to you saying that comedians are desperate to look young? I think there are a lot of comedians that don't even care how they walk out of the house.
There is that. Yeah. But I don't know. I feel like that's how I would have felt about comedians probably before I started doing comedy, like Doug Stanhope and who's the guy from 30 Rock with the silly hats? Maxim, help me out. Do you know who I'm talking about? Damn, dude, no one's listening, Danit. If Maxim behind the board isn't listening, yikes. You know what, Maxim, turn it off. This is a wash. Who's the guy from 30 Rock that wears the hats with the silly phrases on them? Oh, I never seen 30 Rock. Oh, dude, I bet people are yelling at their fucking phone or computer or
I have
TV
no
right now.
idea. John Lithgow?
No, he is
He's the
Judah
old guy.
Freelander.
Judah Freelander.
Thank you, Christ, dude. That would have bothered me. We would have had to pause the podcast. But yeah, okay. So those type of guys, like clearly they're not like looking in the mirror all day. But talking with like other comedians my age, like there's like an emphasis on like everyone's taking medication for their hair so that they don't lose their hair. All the guys. That's the thing.
Okay, I didn't know that. That's news to me. I didn't spill the tea.
Mm-hmm. People that don't even have a hint of like balding are like, yeah, I've been taking these pills for about 3 years now. And I'm like, but you're not balding. And then they're like, see, it works, so who knows? And then testosterone replacement therapy. I know more than one person that's on that.
A man or a woman?
A man.
So I'm on testosterone. I'm on hormone therapy because also my hormone, like that with the Hashimoto's. So I have like thyroid and hormone issues after everything. I had no testosterone. Women need testosterone. You can't have zero. So I have a pellet. It's like a grain of rice that my doctor puts on my butt cheek.
Okay,
like
I'm gonna need one of those
skin.
after the podcast, please.
But what are they doing it for? And you know that when men take testosterone, it kills your sperm, makes you sterile.
Yes.
Like literally, it's like it's not like, oh, it makes you sterile. It kills them. So when you pump, there's nothing in there. There's no swimmers.
Shooting blanks.
You're shooting blanks.
Yikes.
Well, so why is this person taking testosterone? What are they getting out of the testosterone?
I think it especially when you get older, because I think like post 40, you don't put on as much muscle as you used to.
Okay, so it's for leaning them out.
You want to be lean and muscular.
Yeah, okay.
I'm too afraid to take anything that's illegal because I know I'll take it wrong. I think unless I was rich and famous, which guys, please subscribe to the Patreon. I don't have a Patreon. But unless I had like a doctor that was like, all right, we're going to keep the acne gone and your heart from exploding and your testicles from enlarging and, all that stuff.
Yeah, there's stuff that comes along with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've definitely Googled steroids, but I haven't seriously considered doing them. But I know enough about them that I could talk about them. So I'm jealous, dude. You're taking steroids, and all you needed was one car accident. Maybe that's what. Maybe I'll do that. Try to get some some testosterone pills.
Yeah, no, I mean now my hormones are supposedly better, but whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I also turned 40.
Ooh, happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. It was in the summer. But like being 40 is different for a woman. It feels different.
How does it feel different? Or what does it feel like to you?
It feels like biology is done with me. Like kind of. Like it because you want to hear what my gynecologist said to me. So I have a new doctor that I went to, and he's who found all of these issues, whatever. My new gynecologist literally looks me in the face and was like, you're 40 years old. You have 3 years to have a baby. Then it's over.
Ooh.
You have 3 years, whatever. Then
he didn't cushion that at all.
No, he's like, if you want to have a baby, it's now. It's 3 years. Until you're 43, then don't even bother trying. It's not going to happen, which isn't true. There are people that have had it. But also, he then told me that I have the fertility of a 22-year-old.
Ooh.
So my blah, blah, blah levels are the 22-year-old. So I'm A-okay.
Okay.
And my mom had me naturally at 36. And you want to hear the tea? I'm going to just say it here. My mom only told me this recently, like literally within the past year, that when I was 2, so she was 38, she got pregnant again and she had an abortion because she was so sick. We have bad pregnancies in my family. She was like, my sister, she had my sister, she had me, I was only 2. And then she's like, I can't have another one and be throwing up all the time. I just can't. She had an abortion. So I think we're pretty fertile.
Yeah. The Sibs are very fertile. Fertile Sibs, they call them. Yeah, at 38 to have a surprise pregnancy, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. And she definitely was okay
not having it.
Now you had difficult pregnancies. That's interesting. I'm a preemie myself. Are you a preemie? You part of the preemie club?
No,
Okay.
no,
Think you're better than me?
no. How early were you?
I was 2 months early.
Oh, that's significant.
Yeah.
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 Did you have to stay in an NICU or anything?
Yes, for a month.
For a
I
month.
was a sick little baby. Yeah, not the big strong man you see before you folks. But yeah, it was a surprise. I was born 2 months early. And another surprise was that I was a boy.
Oh, interesting.
I was supposed to be a girl.
Okay. What were the things that you needed to be like in the NICU for? Like what? Like did your lungs have to grow more? Like you know what I mean?
think everything. I was under 4 pounds.
Okay.
And they were
little.
like, that's too small.
Too little. Too
Dude,
little.
I eventually became a very fat baby. Like I started
thank
bulking
God.
immediately.
Fat babies are the best. I don't want no skinny babies. Sorry. Not sorry.
Skinny babies, if you're listening, turn it off.
Turn it
Danit
off.
is not interested.
No, thank you. I want big cheeks. Fat babies. Otherwise, goodbye.
The doctor told my mom, she's like, your baby, after I was done being incubated, they're like, he's healthy now. He's little. Do not feed him more than you otherwise would. Feed him a regular amount and he'll get big. Don't worry. Which is, I'm sure, what he tells all mothers of preemies. And then my mom disregarded that advice and was like spoon feeding me. I was on a baby bulk, basically, you know, like a power lifter baby. Because if you see like the first picture of me, I look like a crazy tiny like alien. I'm literally a fetus.
No,
you know what I mean?
little babies like that. I say they look like chickens, newborn chickens. Like my niece, my sister has twins and then a little one and boy girl twins. So I have one niece and they were big for twins, but my nephew, he was bigger and she was the chicken. She looked like a little chicken. But then they got fat. Just the way I like it.
There's a picture of me. Well, you would have loved the picture of me. Not my first Christmas, my second Christmas. So I'm like a year and a half old because I was also born in the summer. And I'm a super fat baby and I look pissed. They took a picture of me. They're like, Bobby, it's your second Christmas. And I don't know what Christmas is because I'm a baby.
Yeah.
And
thanks for the clarification.
But I look so mad. And I like to joke that it was because I knew that it was the last full day of the existence of the Soviet Union. Because 1991 Christmas Day was the last year that the Soviet Union or the last day that it existed.
Interesting. Yeah, that's really. Do you have siblings?
Nope, only child.
Oh wow, one and done.
Well, yeah. The goal was my parents' goal was to have 2, because they're both one of 8.
Okay.
Because both of their parents were Irish Catholic.
Yeah.
The Pope
big
told them
families.
that condoms were evil, you know, and so they had like tons of kids, and they were like, let's have a smaller family. So then they had me, but then my birth was so traumatic that they're like, that's it. We're not doing another one. So one and done.
One and done.
Which I think is beautiful. Now, did I grow up probably a little more lonely than I otherwise would have been? Yes. Do I get the bulk of my parents' inheritance? Also, yes.
Yeah.
So it works out.
Yeah, totally.
And you have one.
I have one older sister.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Are you guys bros?
Yeah, we're pretty close. We get into bad fights though, where we don't talk. Like we will be in a group chat, like me, my mom, my sister, and I will just I can curse, right? I can do whatever I want.
Please do. Otherwise,
Okay.
we'll have to add them in later.
Okay. That's a good bit. Like I'll get like totally psycho in the chat. Like, why are you so angry? Is it because you're a cunt? Oh, you fucking bitch. You think you're gonna fucking talk to me like that? Oh, I'm not nice? No, you're fucking not nice. That's what I do with my sister. You're being a cunt.
Ooh.
That's what I say to my sister.
Okay.
I'm just like, oh, and then like there's definitely, and then in the middle of those texts, you'll just see my mom writing, stop!
Yeah.
Stop it, sisters! Stop it! And I'm like, I would stop, but she's a bitch. That's what
Now, so is the problem that you two are very similar?
No, we're very different.
Okay.
And we're 5 years apart. That's kind of big because we were never like in camp or school at the same time. And she was always like done with me. But we definitely got closer as adults, especially like she had kids. I was in law school when she had kids. I was like 23 when the twins were born. Yeah, because they're 17. Oh my God, they're driving. You know what? I'm sorry. These two should not be driving on the road. They don't know anything about anything. Talk about like nothing. These kids have no idea what the fuck is going on ever. Like you ever I'm an aunt, so I've like raised these kids. You know, I've like been part of their lives, and they've come out that like they're so fucking dumb. They don't know what the fuck is happening. Now they're gonna get behind cars. What?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even trust them to get the right thing out of the cabinet.
But do you think I've been thinking about this recently is because you've known them since they were literal infants. Part of you is gonna have trouble accepting that they're adults.
Oh, maybe. But the little one is 14 and he still gives me hugs. And then there's a dog now, so I get her and I take her home with me by myself and a dog sit at home, or I just bring her home with me for a few days because I like having her around.
Dude, I would love to have a dog. I don't because I live too much of a nomadic lifestyle to have one. It would be rude.
I feel like it's not that I don't live a nomadic lifestyle, and I have like a great apartment living for a dog. Like I have enough space. That's because I live in Washington Heights. It's not like that's where you got to go to get space.
Yeah.
But I want to travel a lot, like because between COVID and my injury, I lost 3 years of my life. So all I want to do is like live and travel. And I really don't think it's right to have a dog and travel all the time. Because I want to travel for like 2-3 weeks. I kind of want to, I like work remotely for the most part. I really want to like work from Tel Aviv this summer, like in August, because I'm going to Croatia in July. And then I want to bop over and stay in Tel Aviv. And I have an Airbnb already for like 12 days that I've secured. It's cheap for me. That's a good bit. I'm like, I'm going to Tel Aviv. It's really affordable these days.
Yeah. No, not a lot of people interested in going right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have a good time. I don't know about you guys. I'm ready to hook up with hot Israeli guys. I didn't in July. I don't know why I didn't. I didn't want to go on Tinder or something. And I was just like, I only had 6 days and I just wanted to be with my friend.
Yeah.
My best friend.
That's the difference between men and women, by the way. You're like, no sex this week. I'm hanging out with my friends. There's no scenario in which I would say that.
Well, she kept on telling me, like, why aren't you going on a date? I'm like, I don't want an app date. It would be different if I like met somebody or like whatever. But no, now this summer, now I'm like, I'm in a sexual revolution. So I'm definitely going to hook up this summer. Get ready, Tel Aviv. I'm coming.
Tel Aviv, get ready. Okay.
Get ready.
Yeah. Did you go on Birthright?
I was banned and not allowed on Birthright. The only time I've ever lied in my life was to get on Birthright. And they wouldn't let me on. I've been to Israel too much on too many trips. They fucking caught me.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool. Because I
lied to get to Israel. Like God is okay with that.
So, okay, because you've been to Israel before.
Yeah, they used to be really, really strict. Like now people aren't going. But when it first started, I was in college and like everybody wanted to go. People like couldn't believe that they could go to Israel for free. And this was before the woke AF took over some of these Jews and made them hate Israel. So like this was a different time. So like it was really, really hard to get on Birthright. And so they fucking kicked me off.
I love that.
They kicked me off 2 days before I was supposed to go.
Oh no. How old were you?
Oh, I was in law school and I was like, okay. And then I just called up this religious organization that was going to Israel and like they give you really cheap. It's not free, but it's like $500 because they want to indoctrinate you with Orthodox Judaism.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the truth. So I called them and I was like, do you have a spot for me? And of course they said yes.
They're like,
so I still got to Israel.
Just wear this wig. And you're like,
Exactly.
fine, I'll wear the wig.
They're like, wear long skirts. Okay. I'll wear long skirts. Just get me to Israel.
I had this because I used to be paralegal, actually.
Oh, I didn't know if I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, it was, I think before we knew each other,
Yeah.
I did paralegal stuff. And then I quit because it was hurting my brain.
It hurts my soul.
Dude, the thing about being paralegal though is like my first paralegal job, I was making $30,000 a year. And it was like one of the most stressful jobs I've ever had. It's not a great ROI.
It's really not. Being a lawyer isn't like I don't do corporate or big law. So same thing. This is like my first job that I feel like I'm actually sort of making what I deserve.
Okay. Nice.
This new job that I started in December. But yeah, totally. There's no ROI in the legal field unless you're the top of the top. Like rich lawyers, people don't realize, like most lawyers are not anything. Paralegals, legal assistants.
And most of the partners I worked with, some of whom were very, very wealthy, but they seemed
Miserable?
They seemed really miserable.
They're fucking miserable.
Yeah.
Where did you work?
I worked at 3 different law firms. So my first law firm I worked at, and this was the job I got that allowed me to like move out of my parents' house.
Okay.
So that was that cushy $30K a year job, which to me was so much money. I'm at the tail end of being fat and drunk and living in my parents' basement. Again, a really cool time in my life. So I was like, $30K, this is the most, I never thought I would make this much money before. And it was in Essex County, New Jersey. So I moved to Weehawken, New Jersey.
Okay.
And so I could do comedy in Manhattan at night, but during the day I would drive an hour from Weehawken to Essex County, New Jersey. And the law firm was this giant law firm that did foreclosure prosecution. So I felt really good about the work that I was doing. You know what I mean? Just
Okay.
The department I was in, I was able to like tell myself a story that I wasn't being evil because it was the title curative department of the foreclosure prosecution firm. So basically, the property was already foreclosed on, and I had to make sure that there was no lien on the property so that the bank could mortgage it to a new person without there being any liens or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I did that, and it was miserable the whole time.
Yeah.
It was the work was both boring and stressful, if that makes sense.
Only only someone that's worked in the legal field will understand. Boring and stressful is the worst. The worst. That's it.
And then the last paralegal job I had was at a law firm, of course. And the guy, it was weird. They called it the European model. I felt like every lawyer there was a partner. Like there was like a dozen partners. I don't know what was happening. There was some shady international stuff happening. You know what I mean? And so I was going to be a paralegal for these 2 attorneys. And one of them that I work for, first day on the job, and I'm excited to meet because I am making now $39,000 a year. And I'm like, dude, I'm basically a millionaire. You know what I mean? Like I only have 2 roommates now instead of 3. This is crazy, dude. I made it. You know what I mean? Concrete jungle where dreams are made of. But he part of the job was that I have to take physical checks and bring them to the bank. And deposit them. And he goes, I should have quit right here, but he goes, so if any of this money goes into your bank account, and I'm like, why would you say that? He goes, if any of this money goes into your bank account, I will kill you. And I laughed like you're laughing, and I look at him and he's like, and I don't know if you'll believe this, but the year I worked at that law firm may have been the worst year of my life.
I can't.
Yeah. Isn't that psychotic? But I have a lot of empathy for people that are stuck in bad jobs, especially if they're young, because to me, the paralegal thing was always a means to the end. It was always, I have to make enough money so that I could comfortably do comedy in New York.
Correct.
Right. So like, yeah, that's why I never quit a job. Like I never went like, fuck you, I quit. Like
Right.
I always took like the stoic. I'm like, well, work there for a year, give your 2 weeks. That last job, the one I just described though,
Yeah.
My last day at the job was my literal 1 year anniversary. So I cut it real close.
Yeah.
So that I could, you know what's stupid though? Now I'm like, I should have lied on my resume. Lie. I don't know why I had this I don't know. My parents like raised me to be both like very hardworking and honest.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I don't lie on my resume.
oh, okay. All right. Cool.
Why?
Me neither.
No, I mean, I the area of law that I do, like we all know each other, and
Yeah.
like they would know, like, okay, so I got fired like for the first time ever right before Thanksgiving.
Oof.
Yeah, not a good day for. It's been a rough few months onto the rough 2 years. So I then immediately, like, I'm a robot. Like I just immediately like started looking for a new job. And I have a really good resume for what I do. Like I have a good amount of experience, and and me specifically, what's interesting is like I've done a little bit of everything. And I've done this one area of law that is new. It was legislation that was only passed right before COVID. So nobody knows that shit. So I know that stuff. Anyway, so I just like started looking for jobs, and I was interviewing, and then I just like, told them I'm just looking for a new job, whatever. All of a sudden, I'm still interviewing, but I've already accepted my job. I was getting offers the same day. It was wild. Like I would get off one interview and then have an offer from the first interview of the day. It was crazy, but it like, and like my friends do not understand. And I'm like, cause I like do like a low level area of law where like everyone's miserable and everybody just laterally moves all the time. And this, I mean, like, thanks for firing me. I'm making a ton more money and I have a title bump. So now I'm senior counsel, which I should be. But I mean, I also should be not a lawyer and be working in comedy and cannabis full time. That's a different conversation. But so I was still like, I had accepted the job, but I was still like taking some rounds of interviews just in case, like whatever. And they had already, the firm that fired me had scrubbed me off the website already, and they all saw it. Like, you can't lie on a resume. Like, they literally were like, you're not on their website. What happened? I was like, oh, they fired me, but that was literally 2 weeks ago. I can't believe you were seeing. They like, they had layoffs. They said it was 10 of us. Like, that's what happened. They laid people off. It felt personal, but like, obviously to them, I said, but like, and I still got a job offer from one of them that was like, why aren't you on the website? But I mean, it was within 2 weeks, they took me off. It's like, how fucking fast. I have a better picture now.
Maybe they found that you got kicked out of Birthright and they're like, this is too much smoke for us.
I know, too much.
So the I just want to make sure I understand the reason you couldn't do Birthright is because you had already been to Israel
on peer trips. On
I guess I should explain
trips.
If people don't know, the idea of Birthright is if you're a Jew who's never been to Israel, you should go to Israel
of a certain age range. Yeah. And like I had been on a group trip already. And I found out. Yeah,
friend of the show, Matt Marin, he went on Birthright at 33 years old.
Yeah,
that's they moved it. It was to 27, and they moved it to 30. And it's very funny to me because I don't think Matt would object to me saying this. I don't think he cares about Israel. He was just like, yeah, I'll go on vacation. Right. It's free.
But he did love it.
He did love it.
Yeah, I talked to him about it. He loved it. He doesn't have to be like me, but he has very good feelings. Yeah.
I would like to go one day, but
you have to go. You've such like, you're so
Zionist. Like you have
so
to go.
Dude, I've already been not booked on so many comedy shows. I should at least, that's what I should say to the Birthright people. I'm like, listen, I'm not Jewish, but a lot of people don't like me because of me posting pro-Israel stuff on Instagram. So can I come like as a,
I mean,
please?
I mean, I think it's a great angle because we could use it. I mean, you're welcome to come this summer when I have an Airbnb. I would love this is my fantasy, have an Airbnb there for like a month. And if people want to come and go and like have this really great, August is like the worst weather-wise. It's so fucking hot, but it's like, that's when you take vacations. That's when you can get away with it in America. It's summer.
Yeah, I would if I did go, I think I would have like one of those umbrella hats the entire time. You know what I mean?
You got to go in the winter.
Yeah, I think so.
You got to go in rainy season. Yeah, that's actually when you should go. Because actually, people don't realize this, but like it can snow in Israel, and there can be a lot of rain in the winter. That's like Tel Aviv in the winter is like 50-ish and rainy. Like that's the way I would describe it, and it's so cozy and nice. I really love Israel in the winter, and you could do all the sights. It's just like some places are going to be cold. That's when you need to go. We don't want you walking around in an umbrella hat.
I think, yeah, I would like to see all the sites. I'll take pictures of the Christian stuff and send it to my mom.
Oh yeah, the Church of the Holy Sepulchre.
See, I didn't even know what that was. Yeah, and nor will my mom.
That's Jesus was in there for something. It's on the path in Jerusalem. And I walked the Jesus path. So that was like the main ending of it. Maybe that's where he was hung. Anyway, that's where you need to go for your mom.
So I would love to do that. And I want to see, my favorite part of traveling is to see how like the cultural differences between people.
Yeah.
So what are Israelis like? You have 5 minutes.
Unfortunately, they can be like really tough. Like this one guy that I was hooking up with, I just like can't hang out with him anymore because he's just a dick. There's no other way to describe it. He doesn't even get up to greet me when I knock on his apartment door. He yells, "Come in" from the couch and doesn't even get up.
Ooh, okay. Yikes.
I'm like this guy, like we weren't even any, I was like, you think I'm annoying or something, which, okay, maybe somebody can think that, but like, you're not so cool yourself. The only thing he did good for me was his best friend does this underground mushroom journey. So I did that, but I'm on too much antidepressants. So it didn't work. Psilocybin doesn't work if you're on heavy antidepressants, specifically SSRIs. So
guys, if you're on SSRIs,
don't do I mean, you feel like a microdose.
Stop taking them and do mushrooms.
Yeah.
Don't consult with your doctor. Listen, you like my podcast, right? That's what I'm telling you to do.
Yeah. Anyway, but the other thing, the positive things about Israelis are warm, family oriented, like community based, like you will get invited to Shabbat dinner at anyone's house in Israel. Like you will get invited on the street by someone. Like it's just such, that's why I don't like that he wasn't warm and friendly, because it's either you're a dick or you're like so warm and friendly and loving. And like, well, can I am just going to tell people about him just because I think he's so cute. We say Hamud. He's such a Hamudi in Hebrew. He's a cutie. He's the Justin Bieber of Israel. And he just came out with his first, not his first English song, but like his first like American released song. Like he's in LA with Virgin Records, I think. And he went to the Grammys and everything. And this is like this song that just came out, and he's so cute, and he's 24, and I feel like everybody's gonna love him as long as they don't hate on him because he's Israeli. But he like Israelis are like him. This song is called Cry. It's sad, but it's really good. Justin Bieber of Israel.
Nice. That was if that's how you're trying to sell going to Israel for me, you're like, there's this boy, he's really cute.
Oh no, the women are fucking beautiful.
They are, but they're not interested in me. They're too tough. They've been in the army, Danit. They're not gonna fuck me.
You'd be surprised. They also like no. Israeli women just don't they just like don't put up with bullshit in the sense of like getting hit on in a bar.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what is it that I need to do?
You need to just be normal.
Oh fuck.
Like they're not gonna be like they're like they will not be like they're not into getting like hit on, I guess, or they just like they don't put up with like the bullshit. They'll give you a hard time. But supposedly, and this is like why I guess like I did go out when I was there a little bit this summer and I didn't meet anybody out. Supposedly, like people aren't meeting out there. Like in like when I lived there. Okay, so I lived in Tel Aviv at 28, 29. So 2011, 2012, and there were really no apps then really. Like there was like J-Date or something like that. So and we were partying, like I would meet guys out. Like everybody was at the bars, everybody was at the clubs. Like Tel Aviv was a great party place. Party all the time, met guys, whatever. Now supposedly like everybody's on the apps, they're just swiping and like it's the same thing as here. Except I'm meeting people in person, a lot of people. Yeah.
How are you doing this?
I don't know. I think it's an energy. I'm having because I'm in this sexual revolution, I'm giving off a vibe that I'm like, I'm DTF.
Yeah. Listen, I have the right amount of testosterone in my system now. I'm ready to roll.
I'm ready to go. I think the testosterone caused it.
Oh, yes. As someone that has testosterone, I could confirm.
Would say I had no testosterone, and then I had some. So now I'm having a good time.
You know what's fucked up about testosterone? I was thinking about this. So because I am 33, I now each year I have less than I used to have.
Okay.
Right. Which means I get less horny. Right.
Right.
But because I'm getting older and more experienced, I do get laid a little bit more. So isn't that fucked up? Like the graph of can I get it and do I want it is going like this.
Oh, I think it's the opposite for women.
Yes.
Because like, can we get it? Do we want it? Yep. Okay. Now they meet at 40.
Yeah. Yep.
Totally. Totally.
Well, I like meeting in person. Sounds good. I think I'm a bit handicapped on the dating apps, because the dating apps, it's more of like, all right, do you fill these boxes?
Yeah.
And I don't fill all the boxes, but I'm like, fuck, if I could just
nobody fills all the boxes.
That's true. That is true. No, I have a healthy sense of self.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, almost healthy sense of self, but I feel like, and I've talked about this before. Like if I could just get in, like if I'm on the date, I'm good.
You're good. I have,
and let me know if I'm saying this right, Danit. Riz? I have a bit of Riz.
I see. I'm too old for that. What I would say is swagger.
Maxim's laughing in the background.
Swagger.
Yeah. Millennial swagger is Gen Z Riz.
Yes. Yeah. Swagger.
The idea that I'm sheepishly describing myself as having Riz is very cringy. I think that's why Maxim's laughing in the background. Well, Danit, if anyone has a sufficient amount of Riz that they could slide into your DMs, can you tell the people how they could do that?
Oh yeah, please slide into my DMs. It's Danit Sibs, DANITSIBS. I'm on Instagram.
You're on Instagram, and so we record super far in advance. So do you have anything coming up in April otherwise?
Oh yeah, April 5th is the Hot Box. Friday night, April 5th, the Hot Box in Chelsea at Work and Roll. Get your tickets. DJ Vinny Goods is going to be there. He's it's going to be like an old school college night. Like we went to college together, and this makes me sound interesting. Also, I was in Alpha Phi and he was in ZBT with all my ZBT friends, all those guys. So like it was like it's going to be a really fun like old school college hangout night with a awesome DJ. So and comedy.
And comedy.
And cannabis.
And cannabis. And I've heard great things about the show.
Thank you.
So you guys should definitely check it out.
College comedy.
The
three C's.
The 3 C's of comedy, dude. Well, thanks for doing it, Danit. We'll definitely have you back.
Thank you. This was awesome.
And remember, folks, early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. I'm just playing night owls. You know I love you.
Thank you.